Okay, in my last video, I showed you how to remove the rear sight so you could install a scope base. And that's what I'm going to show you now. These are the scope bases that I like to use. The brand is CCOP. These are made, I think they're made in China, but they're really well made. One thing, when you buy this, you get a number 8 screw for the rear, but they provide a number 6 48 screw for the front, so you'll have to buy an 840 screw up front. I don't know why they do that, but just know that when you buy it. So I've got another mount already set up in the jig. This is a Forster scope drilling jig. You really have to have something like this when you're doing this job, or these are little taps and drills. You'll break them very, very easily. I'm not going to show you how to set it up. You could read the directions. There's other videos about that. But I just kind of have the mount here, was getting it lined up. But we're going to show you punching a hole through this thing. On the rear bridge, I drill all the way through. When we do the receiver, we'll stop. And this is a super sharp carbide drill. As you know, these receivers are really hard. Just go nice and easy. And this jig holds everything true and square. Clear the chips. Almost there. Okay. Now, my secret for these, I read about people sometimes they have to spot anneal them because they're so hard. The drilling is really not the hard part; it's the tapping. So what I've discovered is I just go one size up on the drill. If you look at the chart, it says you should drill a 27 hole for an 840 screw, but I bump it up to a number 27. It's not that much bigger. It makes tapping a lot easier. So I just switch out the bit in the appropriate bushing. For this, I'm going to use a little cutting fluid for this. This bit isn't as sharp as the last one we used. Nice and lined up. Running a nice slow speed, like 200 RPM. A small problem with the bushing here. Pause it. Yeah. Minor hiccup there. Just ever so slightly enlarging this hole. Bam, we're through. Okay, now we're going to move it over to the bench. I'll show you tapping. So we just took it off the drill press, and now we're going to tap it. This is why you need a jig or a tapping device for your drill. It just holds everything nice and square. These little taps and this hard receiver, it would be really easy to break it. Get good taps. These are high-speed steel. Just pay money for the good quality ones, because you'll pay a lot more paying someone to remove the broken tap out of there. So I just put a little cutting fluid on my tap, and you'll need, for the front, we'll show you that you'll need two different kinds of taps, a plug tap and a bottom tap. But here, since we're going all the way through, we'll just use the plug tap. But this is a slow process. I won't show you the whole thing, but see how the jig holds it there. And when you go to cut these, you're basically going to do quarter rotations. You'll feel it just start to bite, and then you need to back it off or you'll snap it off. And this process, you can see the tension on it. Probably take you 20 minutes to do this. We're not going to sit here and watch the whole thing, but if you've never tapped a hole before, don't start with one of these, because you have to have a really fine touch, or you'll ruin your day breaking that tap off.